Live on tape from Urbana High School's Oscar Adams Gymnasium, it's senior night for the Tigers volleyball team on the Tigers Media Network. I am Joey Wright. We are just about set to get ready to get rolling this evening. Urbana versus Decatur Eisenhower. This is a night where we will honor the two seniors on Urbana High School's roster, Maddie Sanders and Jada Barbie. Just moments away from action tonight. Johnny Wright is on our camera tonight, and we appreciate his work. His debut behind the camera as we await to see who will start with the ball. Looks like it'll be Maddie Sanders, a senior for Urbana, back to serve. And we are ready for action. Sanders, the good serve there, goes over. And Urbana, this is Jada Barbie hitting it over. Nice job. Richwood's tipping it around. Over the net it goes, and it's blocked. Looked like that was Kaylin Johnston on the block. Puts the Tigers ahead 1-0. Last time we saw Urbana, they dropped a close one to Normal Community in 3 sets. That was about a month ago on the Tigers Media Network as that serve from Maddie Sanders goes out of bounds, and we're tied up at 1. Working through some technical difficulties tonight. We apologize as Richwoods on their first serve of the game. This is going to be hit out of bounds by Urbana, and Richwoods goes up 2-1. This is the final home game of the careers of Maddie and Jada, and perhaps the final regular season game in any case. And back to serve Jada Barbie. We're tied at 2. This is out of bounds, and Decatur Eisenhower goes up. Decatur Eisenhower 9-20 on the campaign. And it's a good thing that this is not a conference game for the Panthers, as they are 0-8 in their conference. Urbana enters this one 12-19, 4-6 in the Big 12. Maddie bumps it up, and here's Kaylin Johnston hitting it over. This is going to stay. It's going to go out of bounds, rather. I thought it was kept in bounds, but it was not. And Decatur Eisenhower up by a score of 4-2. And here's Urbana hitting it up almost towards the ceiling. Bostic and now to Sanders, and Urbana will look to set something up. Goes over the net. Here's Sanders. Bostic sets it up for Raven Russell, a sophomore. It's tipped, and Decatur Eisenhower is going to keep this one alive. It's Barbie. Now it's Bostic. Set up for, looked like that was Johnson, and it was blocked out of bounds. 4-3. The Tigers cut into the lead by a point. And a timeout called by Decatur Eisenhower, an early timeout for the Panthers. And this is the first time out of the game. Urbana up 4-3. And we apologize again, working through some technical difficulties tonight, unlike anything that I have ever faced, so I apologize in that regard. We are working through them as Urbana scores this point. 5-3 will be, or rather 4-4, our new score. And it's Johnson on the serve for the Tigers. Hit over by Eisenhower, and it's set up by Johnston to Russell, and in the net was Eisenhower. It will be a point for the Tigers, and now they go up 5-4. So they have reclaimed an advantage. And here's Johnston. Johnston on the serve, out of bounds. And so it's going to be 5-5. Eisenhower has tied it back up. And back to serve Eisenhower. And here is Hannah Davenport setting up to Kaylin, and now to Raven. Nice job by Raven, an authoritative spike. Hit out of bounds by the Panthers, and the Tigers go back up 6-5. It'll be Allie Henges, a Tigers junior, back to serve. Sanders and Russell have checked out of the game. Isabella Hall back in. And this is just tipped right over the net by, it looked like, Kenzie Bostic. 7-5, the Tigers up 2. A busy week for Tigers athletics, and we will talk more about that as the broadcast progresses. Here's Henges out of bounds. So it'll be 7-6. And what has been a closely contested contest early on. Eisenhower will go back to serve. And again, as I mentioned earlier, you look at the trends where their wins have come. Not in their conference. This is a non-conference game for both sides. Give that point to Urbana, 8-6. Non-conference game for both sides. Obviously, they this will not have any bearing on anything regarding the conference records for either side. This is going to be a point for Urbana, 9-6. They're up 3, their largest lead of the evening to this point. And 9-6. Back to serve, Hannah Davenport. And Davenport, a nice serve. This will be hit to the ceiling, and somehow that goes over, and it's out of bounds. Credit where credit is due. A nice job by Eisenhower to not give up on that play, but alas, they could not keep it in bounds. Nearly a highlight reel-worthy play. Davenport back to serve once more. And this is going to be a point for Eisenhower, out of bounds. Pink shoelaces, looks like, for some players on the Urbana team. On the court right now, Hannah Davenport. I see some pink shoelaces on the Tigers bench. October, of course, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it looks like Jada Barbie's got them too. All in all, 4 players with pink shoelaces for Urbana. I don't see any pink shoelaces on the Eisenhower team, but, you know, out of bounds. (11-7). Tigers are coached by Erica Menig. Her husband, Chris Menig, coach of the girls basketball team, has just arrived. He is on the bench next, or rather in the stands there behind the benches, next to athletics director Steve Waller. This is going to be hit into the net, and Urbana will go up by 5. It's 12-7. And back to serve Bostic, number 3. And a bit of a miss hit there. It will not clear the net. 12-8. The Panthers cut it back to within 4. This Tigers team could be dangerous when the postseason strikes. You'll recall last year they took down Mahomet in their regional affair. As this is going to be a point for Decatur Eisenhower. And Eisenhower's serve is way off the money. It will be a Tigers point, make it 13-9 with about half of a match worth of, or rather half of a set worth to play. First set. This is going to barely clear the net. Goes to Davenport. Davenport to Bostic. Over the net it goes, and Urbana will score the point. It's 14-9. Out of bounds. 15-9. Here's Russell. Will hit it over the net, but out of bounds into the stands. Someone got hit. Looked like that was Kion Barber that took the brunt of that impact with the ball. In good spirits, though. He throws it back onto the court. And we are underway once more. They're out of bounds. It'll be a point for Urbana. I mentioned a busy week for Tigers Athletics. Today was a busy day for Tigers Athletics. Tennis player Aaron Wright competed in the state championship tournament up in Rolling Meadows, Illinois today. Unsure of how she did, our freshman football team competed at Peoria Manual earlier this afternoon as well. They lost by a handy margin, so hopefully Aaron performed a little bit better. Again, I'm unsure of how that went. I believe 56-0 was the score of the football game in Peoria, so that was not probably a great contest to watch. Tomorrow, our varsity football team takes on Peoria Manual. You can catch our coverage of that beginning at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. And on Saturday, our boys soccer team in action. They take on Centennial at 11. This will be a Tigers point. They take on Centennial at 11 for the regional championship. That game at Franklin Field in Champaign. Kaylin Johnston back to serve. It is 11-18, favoring Urbana. Make it 19-11, favoring Urbana still. Johnston will continue serving. And this goes over the net. Johnston, and it's set up for Russell. Nice job by Russell to spike it. This will go out of bounds. The Tigers, the first team to 20 points in this match. They lead set one, 20-11. Seniors, Maddie and Jada are on the court. That serve from Kaylin didn't clear the net, 20-12. And here's Jada. Jada set up by Kaylin, and I think Kaylin was in the net, so it'll be an infraction attributed to Decatur Eisenhower, in fact. Call against number 3 there. So it's 21-12. And it's Allie Henges back on the baseline. She has served before in this one, and she'll serve again now. Good serve, goes over the net. Fielded by Eisenhower, hit once, twice, and thrice, and out of bounds. So the Tigers up 10 now. It's 22-12. Henges still back to serve, with the Tigers firmly in command of this one. Tigers looking to get out of here quickly tonight in 2 sets. We'll see if that can be a reality. They still got to put this one away, and they're 1 point closer to doing that now, 23-12. We'll see if Henges can close this one out. And this one's in the net. Panthers close this one to 10. And here's the Eisenhower serve. Stays in bounds, 23-14. That's out of bounds, 24-14. Urbana 1 point away from closing this first set out. And back to serve Hannah Davenport. Very capable of closing this one out. Let's see if she can. And Eisenhower hits it over. It's Davenport, Johnston, and Hall. Hall tips it over the net. It falls in bounds. And 25-14, our final score of this, the first set. Both teams will switch sides, and we will get set for set 2, which will begin in just under 3 minutes. Just joining us again, some big players to watch for Urbana in the first game. Hannah Davenport had a big game. Kaylin Johnston, of course, seniors Jada Barbie and Maddie Sanders. Isabella Hall played a little bit, as did Kinsey Bostic. And really, I mean, everyone on the court for the Tigers contributed. Good team volleyball that was played. And we will see if they can continue working as a team, working as a cohesive unit as we approach this second set of the evening and potentially our final set of the evening. You know, if Urbana would win this set, they would win the match. So we will see a fair crowd here on senior night. The Oscar Adams Gym nearly maybe about maybe 2/6 full. That's pretty healthy crowd. That probably sounded a lot more sarcastic than I intended. A lot of fan-favorite sports teams are in action tonight. The Chicago Bulls, the Chicago Cubs. Chicago Cubs obviously on the brink of elimination tonight against the Los Angeles Dodgers. I don't believe they play. Actually, they're probably underway right now. And we are live on tape from the Oscar Adams Gym tonight. We thank you for joining us. Set 2 is underway. And Decatur Eisenhower will open things up with the first points of the contest here, set 2. Back to serve, Alyssa Baltimore. I did not have a Panthers roster in front of me for set 1. I was handed a program between sets. My apologies to any Decatur Eisenhower fans who have tuned in. But I have a roster in front of me now. We are good to go. Alyssa Baltimore is back on the baseline, ready to serve. Eisenhower's libero is Riley Bartholomew. And Baltimore, a nice serve. And hit into the net by Kayane Toombs. So it's 2-1 favoring the Panthers. Here's Henges. Good serve from Alley. And hit and kept in bounds by the Panthers. It's 3-1. And back to serve is Mahogany Johnson Cook. Out of bounds, and Decatur Eisenhower is off to a strong start in this, the second set. Eisenhower up 4-1. Here's Sanders, here's Bostic, and here's Johnson. A nice spike from Killen. Nearly kept alive by Eisenhower, but alas, it is going to be 4-2. Still favoring them, but the Tigers make it a 2-point game. Back to, and Urbana gets the point, 4-4. And set by Davenport to Bostic, and now it's going to go back to Bostic. Here is going over the net. And a point for Urbana. We're tied at 4, just like that. Urbana has made it a tied ball game. And just like that, Eisenhower will go back up. They now have the advantage, 5-4. And Urbana ties it up at 5. 6-5, and I think we just maybe got a lot of audio coming through. I'm not sure what the audio was like prior to this point. I think I maybe just fixed an issue that we've been having. Urbana will score. They go up 7-5. So, just joining us, I'm Joey Wright. 7-5, our score. Out of bounds. Or rather stays in bounds for a Tigers point. It's 8-5. Caitlin Johnston is back serving for Urbana. It's senior night, obviously honoring Maddie Sanders and Jada Barbie. Maddie Sanders is on the court. And it's going to be set up by, Johnston's just going to hit it over. Not going to set it, and the Tigers go up 9-5. Neither team has used a timeout in this second set. Urbana only used one in the first set. And it's Eisenhower now moving it around. Blocked at the net by Urbana. This is going to go into the stands. The Tigers the first to 10, and they have double the amount of points of Eisenhower. It's 10-5, and it'll be a Panthers timeout. It has been a long night. Long night here in Urbana. The Tigers took set one, so they are just 15 points away now from sealing the deal and winning set two, and with it the match.
I'm not sure what's my name rate.
And the Tigers the first to break huddle. Eisenhower soon follows. And 10-5, Johnston is back to serve. And she will serve. (11-5). Into the net, and it's going to be 11-6. Back to serve. Let's see, for the Panthers, it is Mahogany Johnson Cook into the net. Urbana up 12-6. Here's Sanders. Got Johnson and Johnston and just all sorts of confusion here. It's out of bounds, and Maddie Sanders will continue to serve. Jada Barbie still on the bench, the other senior. Here's Maddie, goes over the net. Hit once by Decatur Eisenhower, now twice and thrice. Right into the net, and the Tigers go up by 8. It's 14-6. A reminder that the Urbana football Tigers battle Peoria Manual tomorrow. That game at 7 o'clock. Our coverage begins at 7 o'clock on the Tigers Media Network. Urbana winless heading into that one, and Manual with only one win to their name. Came last week. So that should be a good one. Here's Johnston setting it up for Hall. Hall goes over the net. It is tipped once, twice, and over the net it goes. Hall over, and it's going to be rejected by Davenport, 15-7. And Davenport back at the baseline, ready to serve. This won't be returned. 16-7, a 9-point lead for Urbana. Their largest of the set. 9 points away from victory are the Tigers. And Davenport hits it over the net. Once and twice. Now, violation on Eisenhower. It will be a Tigers point. 17-7, they go up by 10. Point for Urbana, 18-7. Davenport. And here's Hall hitting it over. It's 19-7. Davenport still back to serve. The Tigers only 6 points away from escaping with a victory tonight on senior night. Davenport hit by Toombs, and I think it's Toombs that hit it over the net there. Yep, it is. It's Barbie hitting it. Did that hit the line? It did. It stays in bounds, and Jada Barbie allows Urbana to be the first team to 20 points in this set. It's 20-7. Here is Davenport. Johnston sets it up for Bostic, and that's hit too hard. It'll be 20-8. One timeout remaining for the Panthers. 2 timeouts left for the Tigers. Bartholomew hits it over. Johnston sets it up for Bostic. Sanders now to Johnston, now to Hall, and Hall here is Sanders, now it's Johnston, now it's Hall, and that's going to get out of bounds. It's 20-9. For the Tigers, this would be their 13th win on the campaign. For the Panthers, it would be their 9th. Back to serve. Journey Florney, who was a starter. Some clapping. Here's Johnston. I didn't catch why the fans were clapping. Perhaps there was an injured player that I missed or something to that effect. In any case, it's blocked by Urbana, and they go up 21-9. (22-9) on that point for Urbana. And you look at the numbers, Urbana averages 21.7 points in their second set. That is more than 3 more points than the Panthers of Eisenhower do. Eisenhower only averages 18.3. The Tigers have 23 right now, and the Panthers 9. Tigers 2 points away from winning on senior night. This is out of bounds, and make that 1 point. It is match point. Tigers only 1 point away from clinching the victory tonight. And back to serve, it will be Kinsey Bostic. And Eisenhower will hit it over. Johnston to Bostic, back to Johnston, and it's going to be a point for Eisenhower. It looked like that would hit the net and then deflected out of bounds. I don't believe an Eisenhower player hit that to cause it to go out of bounds. So we will play at least one more point here. 24-10 our score. Chance of this is our house. Swing across the Oscar Adams Gym, set up for Hall. Hall will spike it, and we are done tonight. The Tigers take out the victory on senior night against the Panthers of Decatur Eisenhower High School. Urbana in 2 sets. That's our game. So for our whole crew, and it was a pretty slim crew tonight, my brother Johnny, I am Joey Wright. We hope you join us tomorrow for football on the Tigers Media Network. The Tigers battle the Rams of Peoria Emmanuel High School as we see the crowd here at the Oscar Adams Gym. They are happy. We see the players on the court. They are happy too. Urbana emerges victorious in this one in 2 sets. Thank you.